Okay, so this is my makeup tutorial, and I'm going to be using a pore reducing primer to minimize the pores on my face before I apply anything like my foundation and whatnot. And now I'm using a green color corrector because I have a lot of redness in my face and acne spots that I like to reduce the distraction of. And then I will apply concealer onto the color corrected spots, so then it'll be all blended out evenly after I put my foundation on. So now I wet a beauty sponge and I am just blending out the concealer, and as you can see, the redness in my face has dramatically improved. And now I'm using actually a DIY BB cream, and so I just mixed up foundation, a little bit of moisturizer, and an SPF cream, and now I'm just blending that onto my face. It creates a nice tinted moisturizer because I do not like super full coverage foundation, and so it is really thinning and you kind of have to build up to the coverage that you want. So now I'm just building up what I want my base to look like. And now I'm using the concealer to just highlight and correct some imperfections. And now I'm using a smaller beauty sponge that I also wet to blend out that concealer onto my face. And now I am going to set my face before I put any powder on, as it helps the powder stick to your face better. So now I'm just using a setting powder with a dry sponge, and I'm just going to put it onto the parts that need to be set, like my chin, nose, eyes, forehead, and then I'm also going to spill it all over myself. And then I also put it underneath my cheekbones, so it's a lot more sharp, and the contour that I will put on later will pop out. I'm kind of going for a natural glam look that's just a little bit more extra. So now I'm gonna use my contouring palette to contour some parts of my face and create shadows. And I have a pretty round face, so I try to slim that out a little bit with the contour by contouring my cheekbones, my temples, and I put a little bit onto my jawline, so it kind of sharpens out the jawline more, and it also helps darken up my foundation, as it isn't a complete match for my neck. And then I would recommend using a smaller brush, but I couldn't find a smaller brush, so I'm just fanning out my angled contour brush and just doing it like that. And as you can see, I'm putting it slightly into the corners of my eyes to create a little bit more dimension for my eyeshadow. And now I'm just going to wipe away the excess setting powder. And as you can see, it really created a defined cheekbone line for my contour. So I'm just kind of blending all of that together so there's no harsh lines. And now I am applying my blush. I'm going to use that middle dark pink, just because it adds a little bit more flush and pinkness to my cheeks rather than the coral or orange in that palette. And I am just adding it almost on top of my cheekbones, but not quite, so it has a natural flush. So now onto the eyes. I'm using a eye primer in order to help the eyeshadow stick better and blend better. I just take a little amount and make sure it's all blended evenly. So now I'm using a light brown color for the base of my eyeshadow, and I'm putting it into the outer V corner of my eye and blending it into the crease. And now I believe I'm adding a darker brown to, oh yeah, this is the part, to define my eyes more and create the look that I'm going for. And we want to avoid the lid of our eyes because we will be cutting the crease of that soon. So I'm just blending that darker brown onto the outer V of my eye and into the crease. I'm trying to fan it out a little bit so the shadow isn't just a complete circle around my eye and it's a little bit of a point, as you can see. And now I'm just gonna take a small little eyeliner brush and some concealer to clean up my lid. As you can see, there's like a lot of the eyeshadow there, and I want to make a clean cut crease, but I'm not gonna do the whole lid, just about halfway. And you want to be very careful in doing so because you don't want to completely ruin that little line of shadow that is reaching your inner corner. So I'm doing this to both eyes and just carefully going around and shaping what I want to cut out. And I want to make sure it's as clean as possible. I don't want any murky eyeshadow because I'm going to be using a pretty light shade on that part. And so now I'm going to be using a peachy pink shade onto that crease that we just cut. So it's not just that white concealer look. You can add a matte or a shimmer shade here if you wanted to. I'm just using a matte because I just felt like it. I didn't really feel like putting shimmer on my eyes today. And now I'm just using that darker brown again to blend in the line between the crease and the shadow. And now I'm just using a little mascara in order to prep my lashes once I put on false lashes. And for some reason this mascara was really sticky and it clumped at my lashes a lot. So off camera I just took a lash separator and put into paint in between my lashes to separate any clumpiness. So now I'm going to be applying the false lashes. I already put glue on them, and in order to put lashes on, you want to first put them on without glue so you can measure. I normally never cut mine because they're at a perfect length for my eye. And so now I'm putting the lash directly onto my lash line and carefully pressing it onto my lash line. And to mend it together, I am squeezing my actual lashes and the fake lashes so the band of fake lashes are blended in. As you can see, they're kind of blended, so I'm just kind of tweaking them a bit in order to make them better. So now I'm going to be doing the other eye and adding some more glue since I forgot. But the left eye for me is trickier because it is not my dominant side. So you kind of have to be a lot more careful. As you can see, I'm struggling to figure out how to put them on. But once you figure out your angle that you like, it's quite easy. And as you can see, I got them on, and I'm just gonna carefully use my hand to stick the lashes to my lash line, and I'm using my other hand as it's easier than using my dominant hand on the opposite side of my face. I also curled my lashes before I put on the fake lashes, since it does help to blend the two together. I did not put that on camera, I'm sorry, I kind of forgot about it. But it does help in order to create a more blended look. And now I'm going to do my brows. I don't do a lot for my brows, I kind of just use a tinted brow gel to fill in any patchiness, especially on the tail of my brows. As you can see, it adds a lot of color and it just makes them pop out a little bit more. And now I am going to put, I'm putting setting spray on now to set the look, and everyone's favorite part, highlighter. And so I'm just taking a highlighter brush and putting a bit on my nose. I like a lot on my nose because I really like it to shine. And then I put a little bit on my cheekbones and brow line. And then I also put it on my cupid's bow and my chin. And then to prep my lips for lipstick, I put on some chapstick. And then I'm going to be using a pretty dark shade of lipstick as it kind of matches my eyeshadow. For me, I prefer darker lipsticks over lighter lipsticks just because it fits more with my skin tone and preference. But you can do whatever lipstick you want, whatever color. If you want to do a red, you can do a red. I think a red lipstick would have looked better with this look, but I do like the dark shade of this. And here's the finished look.